Lit. Gave that little bitch a little tip. Now she wanna suck on the dick.
Oh boy. ESPN is letting a lot of people go right before the NFL season. And it's very shocking. I mean, we got training camp Steelers training camp reports in a week from now. And we're getting rid of and the ESPN side of things are getting rid of their analysts. We will talk about that and much more here on a special live edition of the PGH Chris Show. Yes, we are here live for the first time in a long time. I actually don't remember the last time I did a live on here. I know you guys have seen my videos that have been posted up on here, but I'm live on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. So make sure you guys go follow me and subscribe at PGHChris and on all platforms, as well as you guys saw in that introduction in the intro, the Sports Jedi Network Media and the Sports Jedi Network. Follow, our channel, our new channel that we are currently rebuilding. All the links are in the descriptions down below. Make sure you guys go check out all of our sponsors that come with it. Dude Wipes, Blackout Coffee. All the links are in the description as well. But you guys know the drill. This PGH Chris show, PGH Chris TV is, of course, always brought to you by G Fuel Energy. Make sure you guys use your code PGH Chris for this week or the next few weeks. 30% off your order. 30% off your order from G Fuel Energy, courtesy of PGH Chris. Make sure you guys go tell them that PGH Chris sent you guys here and you support them the same way they support us over here. ladies and gentlemen, ESPN, they're letting a lot of people go before the NFL season starts. I mean, there's a whole list of NFL analysts, Sports Center anchors, contributors, radio hosts, even writers that are getting left or let go in this ESPN layoff, in this Walt Disney, this big corporation. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask the question that a lot of people have been asking. I've seen a lot of, the big names in the sports media, like the Emmanuel Ocho or the Night. I don't think Nightcap has talked about this yet, but I heard Stephen A. Smith, which we'll get into that. He didn't say this specifically, but I'm telling you a group of people that I listened that talked about this situation, especially the ones that are with ESPN, where are they doing this to cut? Are they cutting costs? Are they doing all this to give Pat McAfee that big deal? It is reported, it's been reported for a few weeks now, maybe even a month. Pat McAfee is reported to get a crazy bag. I'm going to show you guys right now. I'm going to try to I don't remember the exact number. I saw something like 60 million a year. Yeah, 65 million per year. Now, people think Pat McAfee is getting, which he probably is, but I think if you're getting Pat McAfee, right, you're getting all the dudes that he's with, all of his friends, Ty Schmitz, the Boston Conrads of the world, the what's that fucking dude's name, the AP Tones of the world. I think you have to, he has to obviously pay them. He has to pay his production crew, all that stuff. He's getting obviously for College Game Day, he's on there as well. So it's not like he's just getting this big bag for him being Pat McAfee and him just doing the Pat McAfee show. He does contribute to the network in other ways, and they also contribute to the network in all the other ways, as well as not just doing their Pat McAfee show, but they do like the sideline play-by-play type of things. Like they're doing the commentary during the college football playoffs, and I'm gonna tell you right now, that shit is way more entertaining than the actual broadcast. But let's talk about the people that are not here. We're talking about the people that are here, but let's talk about the people that are not here. Ryan Clark is the big name. Now, I'm going to pull up the list right here for you guys so you guys see the list of people who was released or cut ties or yada yada, whatever. But Ryan Clark is the big name on the list. Ryan Clark, you had Cam Newton, Bart Scott, you had Tom, in NFL Network inside reporter. You had a lot of people get released here from the layoffs. It's the cuts from Disney, affects hundreds of people at the company today. Ryan Clark's obviously he's the big one, the big oh my gosh that everybody's talking about. But I want to start with Cam Newton for just a quick second, because I'm not really surprised that Cam Newton is being laid off or that he's no longer there. Are we that surprised, chat? I'm not. I think Cam Newton was strictly there for the Stephen A. Smith first take. So Stephen A. Smith could have him, Ryan Clark, Cam Newton, all these people, right? Kind of like his dream debate squad, because Stephen A. Smith does call the shots on First Take. I've been watching First Take for I can't even fucking tell you how long. Okay, the reason why I'm live right now, Chad, I'm not live right now just to talk some bullshit or because I saw this on the internet. I've watched these shows damn near my whole life, especially First Take. I want to put the emphasis on especially First Take. I stopped watching it during maybe 2021 to like the end of 22, but other than that, I've watched First Take from I can't even tell you how long. I remember Around the Horn when that was around. Like, dude, Get Up. I watch every morning. I watch Chris Canty's Unsportsman like every morning before I go to work, or at least half of it. I watch these shows, so I'm not just here live talking bullshit with you guys for nothing. But Cam Newton, look, he just like a lot of these people, even Ryan Clark, who I'm kind of gonna save him for last because there's just a lot with him. Um, Cam Newton, it's not like he was contributing to a First Take in a big capacity, right? First Take was a side gig to him, in my opinion. He's not like, again, a Ryan Clark who was on Monday Night Football, who was on Monday Night Football, or not Sunday Night Football, excuse me, NFL Live, Monday Night Football, Get Up, First Take, Sports Center. He was on a lot of these shows, and Cam Newton simply wasn't. So the budget cut with Cam Newton does not come to a surprise to me. I want to say that right now, because he wasn't really doing anything. Stephen A. Smith, I don't think he's addressed the Cam Newton situation. Maybe he has. I know he did a video on the Ryan Clark thing, which I don't really know if he said anything, and then I got to go back and watch it. We could react to a little bit of it right now. Honestly, I mean, it's not copyright. It's YouTube. I am allowed to play that footage, or I am allowed to show you guys that footage. So we actually will break. Maybe we'll actually listen to that. I'll give you guys my live reaction on that. But let's talk about the Ryan Clark stuff, because I just wanted to bring Cam Newton up for a side thing. So this was the original article that I saw when I first heard about the news. I'm gonna pull up right now. This is originally what I saw. I was very shocked when I saw this because, again, where the Steelers report to training camp Tuesday. We're right there where teams' full practices are there to begin. You're now seeing, ever since the finals have been over and they gave, shit to milk out, the World Cup is now over. You're seeing a lot more football talk again on a First Take, on a Get Up, on these ESPN shows. So the fact that, and again, NFL Live is kind of an all year thing. So I'm very shocked that they did this right now. If they were going to do this, they should have done this I'm surprised they wouldn't have done this right after the season last year. But this was what I originally saw here, and I have a lot of things bookmarked because this is a lot of things I want to go over here. So let's talk about this specific thing right here, because this was the first thing I saw as to maybe a reasoning, or this was like the first maybe big scoop that I saw. That it says right here from The Athletic: Ryan Clark's firing from ESPN was influenced from his perceived poor verbal conduct, with his colleague Peter Schrager. Now, I was watching that episode of Get Up where they were discussing that, the CeeDee Lamb performance in the season opening loss, and Ryan Clark, it said, you guys can see the quote is, "That's the non-player in you," but Peter Schrager was basically like, "Don't belittle me, yada yada." So like, I know what I'm talking about just because I'm not a player, but Ryan Clark came off as very disrespectful. And I know what a lot of people are going to say, and I'm going to say it right now because this is my platform, and if I get canceled on here, that's fine. I'm not doing anybody else damage but myself. A lot of people are playing the race bait. I'm going to tell you right now, Pat McAfee is going to get his bag, but they're paying Stephen A. Smith a fuck ton of money. They have a lot of people of color that are getting paid very well. Now, if you see guys like a Damian Woody and a Marcus Spears and some of these guys start to go, I don't think that's going to happen. But if you see some of these guys starting to go, you guys can make your fucking case and maybe I'll hear you out. But until then, I don't see the race bait. I don't see it. But we're going to take a commercial break because when we come back, I'm going to react a little bit to what Stephen A. Smith had to say about the Ryan Clark situation. So here's a word from our sponsor, and we'll be right back. Make sure you guys go use your promo code PGHChris. Save yourself 20% off. And share it on social media, guys. When you have a tub of G Fuel, I always say this on all my shows, all my live streams. If you see a tub of G Fuel, if you own one, if you see it anywhere, please, please, please post it and tag me and show your support. All right, guys, let's talk a little bit about this because this is we got some footage right here. We're gonna react a little bit. This is courtesy of Stephen A. Smith, Sirius XM, Straight Shooter Media. Let's just take a little bit of what we're dealing with here.
Something Ryan Clark spoke to me about and confirmed directly. Yes, I've spoken to him since yesterday. Needless to say that today is a show that I'm doing with a very, very heavy heart because my brother's gone from ESPN. I'm not worried about him because I know he's going to land on his feet because that's who he is and that's how he rolls. I know that the Pivot podcast is doing great for him. And that there's going to be opportunities available, and I happen to consider him to be one of the best NFL analysts in America. And because of
What? You consider him to be one of the best NFL analysts in America? Okay, that's a stretch. This is the same guy that went on ESPN. Now, I'm not going to show you that footage. That's copyright. This might even be too. I'm fucking pushing it. This is the same guy that went on national television last season and said, I don't see Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, and Drew Brees as generational talents. That, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the best NFL analysts in America. What else do you have to say, Steven? Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
that, I expect him to be picked up by somebody else. I'm sad because I work for ESPN and he's no longer going to be working there.
Don't act like you didn't
The
know.
executives know where I stand.
There you
Plain
go.
and simple. I think he's one of the best in the business, and I think it's a loss for us. I don't agree with the decision. They know that too.
Does he have a
But
okay?
I'm also a grown-ass man. I understand business. And
I want to hear him adjust the race baiting stuff.
what's wrong with us? Don't you want truth? Don't you want an honest perspective? To me, I don't have a problem with what anybody feels as long as they're open-minded enough to be corrected once somebody else puts forth their level of facts. Here's what I feel. Here is why. Tell me how your facts differ from mine. Just a couple of weeks ago, I had some sorry asses in the digital and streaming stratosphere calling for me to be disciplined, if not fired, because I had the temerity, the unmitigated gall to say that 3 white dudes as your top talent for an NBA team has never led an NBA team to a championship since the Minneapolis Lakers from 1949 to 1955. Oh, it's race, race, race. Really, what about its fact, fact, fact?
Steven, you know I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. But this is where you come across a little bit. I don't want to say hypocritical, but this is where you come across, excuse me, a little bit questionable. Because let's say this was, I don't know, water polo, USA water polo, or I don't know what's a non black sport. Fucking let's take let's take baseball for example. You see, if Stephen A. Smith, if Jeff Patson or whatever the fuck his name is, went on the Pat McAfee show and said, "Oh, the Pittsburgh Pirates, they're a team full of African Americans. They're not gonna win the World Series." You would respectfully be you would change your argument there pretty damn quick. I'm just saying. You act like Luka Doncic is a scrub. You act like Austin Reeves is a scrub. I mean, that in my opinion, that does not help him. That literally does not help Stephen A. one bit, in my opinion, because if this was the opposite, I guarantee you he would be pretty upset. I think everybody would. I think Ryan Clark would be upset. You know, he'd go probably on the pivot and say some stuff or whatever. I don't know, but he comes across very, very odd here. But let's hear a little bit right here.
Bird and McHale, that's a duo. Didn't happen in Utah. Didn't happen in Chicago. Didn't happen.
Okay. I'm not gonna get into that anymore. If you know, you know. I think Stephen A. I think he can come across a little bit odd sometimes, even though I think he's the GOAT, and I really enjoy his work. I do think he's very odd at some points. Couple things, dude. Let's talk a little bit about how Ryan Clark was fired, or maybe some of the reports or some of the stuff that has came out. So apparently, oh, we got breaking news? Oh, okay. I thought Monica McNutt just got released from ESPN, but no, people are calling for her firing because of when she went on ESPN last August and mistaked Drewski's Barry Sanders jersey for a Shador Sanders or Deion Sanders, whatever the fuck she said. That's interesting. Anyway, talking a little bit about Ryan Clark. I thought I saw something there. This guy was in the middle of NFL Live. They went to a commercial break. And you could see Mina Kimes, Laura Rutledge, and Adam Schefter just, as Ryan Clark's talking, They knew damn well that that was going to be his last ever segment right there on NFL Live. Is NFL Live going to get better without Ryan Clark? Maybe. I enjoy Dan Orlowski. I enjoy Marcus Spears. I think he has the most personality out of damn near everybody. I don't think Ryan Clark is that great of an ambulance. I think he's more of a personality hire. Ryan Clark does not need ESPN. And ESPN sure as fuck does not need Ryan Clark. He can do his own thing. He's still going to be doing his own thing with the pivot. Maybe he lands something with NBC or CBS or some shit like that. He'll be fine. But to find out they went to commercial break really quick. They went really quick. I wasn't watching it live, but I saw the clip. They went to commercial break so fucking fast. And then he wasn't there to finish the show. That sucks. That's not a good way to go out. Again, if you thought you were going to get Ryan Clark, if he was going to get out of the door, he probably should have just gotten booted out last season. That's my opinion. We'll see about that. We'll see where he lands, but ultimately you could argue that the ESPN, this budget cut thing is it's pretty interesting, I would say. A lot of people are talking a lot about the other releases too. Oh yes, Bart Scott. He's no longer, you saw him on Get Up a lot. He's no longer on ESPN as well. Everyone's making the AI memes of Pat McAfee. Oh, you can see that right there. Oh my boy. Oh boy. Anyway, let's see if there's anything else going on here in the ESPN world of the layoff. Oh, look, there's me. Everybody come come follow the Twitter. This is one, but they're paying Adam Schefter a bag. He's a part of the NFL network that's now bought by ESPN, I believe. They don't give a rat's ass about that shit. They do not give a rat's ass about that shit. Look, if Seth Rollins could get a job on fucking Good Morning Football, I'm sure Ryan Clark will be fine. This is where all the report, this is from it was reported right here. You see The Athletic. This is where a lot of the shit is coming from. Oh yes, they even released the fucking ESPN writer who gave a WWE a C grade. Let's read the Ringside News article here for a second, because this has to do with the ESPN budget cuts. Those will be shocked with overjoyed news. Who will be shocked either way? I gave him my all. So that's his statement right here. Because he was denied credentials for WrestleMania. WWE blocked and denied his credentials for his access, so he wasn't able to cover WrestleMania this year. But this was his tweet. I was just informed that my time. Let's click on it right here and get off Ringside News. I was just informed that my time at ESPN has come to an end, as I am one of the consultees of the company-wide layoffs. And it's I don't have too much to comment on him. All I know is that he gave WWE a C grade, and they probably was waiting for this shit to get rid of him. I don't know. Shout out to Nick LaPiccolo, 717. A lot of things going on, man, with the ESPN stuff. Anybody watch WWE Unreal? I just got done fucking watching some of the episodes. I'm going to turn on some of the episodes here shortly and finish them. Monday Night Raw last night was fucking atrocious. I thought Monday Night Raw sucked. I'm going to be honest. Too much babyface, lovey-dovey crap. Penta and fucking Chad Gable. Ugh. Where's the animosity? I don't understand the main event segment with the LA Knight, the Fatu, Jay. How the fuck is. Who are the heels? Who am I supposed to root for? I promise I'm not just saying this because you might have heard other people say it. It's right in front of you. Pro wrestling right now is a dud. It's not that it's boring either. It just doesn't fucking make any sense. It makes 0 sense, chat. Anyway, some people are fucking weird, but MLB talk. Oh yeah, this is another stupid thing that Ryan Clark has said on First Take, where he talked about the governor and my first when he talked about the statue of Charlie Kirk or whatever the fuck. Yeah, I knew that was yeah. This was bad though when Monica McNutt fucking thought that Drewski was wearing a or Deion Sanders. I think she said, did she say Shador Sanders or Barry Sanders? I'm gonna play a little bit of it. I'm only gonna play the part that.
Obviously, this ties to one Shador Sanders who balled out in his first preseason game.
Okay, yeah. She said Shador Sanders. That's what I thought. I didn't know if she said Shador Sanders or fucking Deion Sanders. Okay, stop playing all that shit. Yeah. Chad, I don't think there's anything else juicy to get into right here, but TNA draws its highest crowd since 2018 ahead of the Hardy Compound Clash. Okay. Oh, good job. Not bad. Hopefully it's a good show this week. I need a show to get me going. I know Dynamite's going to be fucking boring this week. I can tell you that right now. This shit better be good before I go on vacation. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that right now. Chat, looks like there's nothing else really to get into here. Might say goodbye here for the time being. Make sure you guys go check out everything on here, Sports Jedi Network. Training camp, NFL practice starts next Tuesday. Will be a lot more streams, 2 days a week, and videos, maybe every other day. Starting next week. So be on the lookout for that. Just want to make sure I might have missed anything, but it looks like I didn't. So we are going to say good night for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys here for joining me here for a quick 30-minute episode of the PGHChris Show, as I just had a production error on my part.